Hey, Shalom. Call Loim Law, Yahweh Bashim Yam Shai, Bashim Kakadash. Double long speak to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the elders and Akim. Let's push this word with truth and sincerity. Shalom to the elect. I'm going to go a bit of a rant today. May bring out a few scriptures. But pretty much, I just want to talk about something. This lesson should be entitled Women in the Armed Forces Creates Confusion. All right. Women in the army or in armed forces creates and causes confusion. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is because what you see before you is this potential draft that's about to come up if it gets signed and passes. You all know the signs and times that we're coming upon with these with tensions with Russia, China, Iran, coming together to go against the allies of America, which is Babylon the Great, where everything's going to be done at, all said and done, it's going to be in the valley of Yehoshaphat, the valley of Yahweh's judgment. All right? Which that's going to be the center place for utter destruction of the militaries. Now, I'm going to read a little bit of this, and I got a couple things on why women shouldn't be in the military. All right? And why it causes confusion. So, new legislation will require women like men to sign up for potential draft. Now, you women wanted this. You women wanted equality. You women want to be on the same level as men. You women wanted the same jobs and duties as men. So here's your chance to actually show up and show out, so to speak. All right? Esau's giving you a chance, since you wanted it so damn badly, to actually show up and show out. The U.S. Senate committee has approved legislation that would, if enacted, require young women to register for selective service alongside men, and in a rare event of a war or other national, that's not a rare event. These things are happening. It's prophetic, man. of other national emergency, be drafted for the first time in the nation's history. And you got the historical evidence of men being drafted. We all know about that situation. But even though the draft is no more, most young men, including immigrants, are required to register with the military selective service in case conscription becomes necessary once again. That's true. Everybody gets some type of course, recruitment centers come around the time when you're in high school, 11th, 12th grade. They give you some type of seminar, all right, that brings in men, not women. Majority men. By 18 years of age, and immigrants are required to register within 30 days of arriving in country. The new legislation, authored by Senate Armed Services Committee Chairman Jack Reed, DRI, would remove any reference to male in current law, leaving women on an equal playing field. This is what you women wanted. Equality, right? But not everyone is on board. Committee member Charles Harley announced his opposition to measure, tweeting Friday, "American women have heroically served and alongside our fighting forces since our nation's founding." Bullshit. It's one thing to allow American women to choose the service, but it's quite another to force it upon our daughters, sisters, and wives. Missourians feel strongly that compelling women to fight our wars is wrong, and so do I. What's wrong with that, man? But you're a simp? These women want equality, so they're gonna get it, and it don't matter anyway, because 16% of the armed forces make up women anyway. So that's about 74,000 women, which I'm gonna get those stats next after this. But like I said, we can keep reading, but we already know there's a lot of women in the military, and particularly the fighting force, the ground forces, is what's really a problem, because these women, um, they have emotions. They cannot deal with stress. They can't meet the physical demands. That's why you have a male PT standard and a female PT standard, because there's no way that a woman can pass a male's PT standard because they're not capable of it. Their bodies aren't strong. Hell, even males can't pass the male's PT standard. How much more a woman? So this all creates confusion. All right. And in 2016, when Obama has lifted the combat roles for women, it became even more confusion, because prior to 2016, there were nothing but men serving as combat roles, such as infantry, artillery, combat engineering, and so on and so forth. Tanking crews. Those are all jobs that were specifically for men, combat roles. But now you put women in there, and you got men that's stressed out, men that are in serving in Iraq, Afghanistan, haven't seen their women for months, and you got a female private next to them with pheromones. What you think's gonna happen, man? That's why it creates confusion. A man can't really concentrate when you haven't had none in months, and you got a fucking female private with her ass sticking out, man, ready to go. This is why this doesn't mix, man. That's why in ancient times there were men fighting, not women. Women were at home taking care of the house. They was at the home front. Men was out there putting their life on the line to serve whatever purpose. That's why America is, let's get that. Gotta find it. Salakia. All right. Salakia. This is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1. This is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Now, reason why it was, the dust represents confusion, which women in combat roles in the military is confusion. And the virgin daughter of Babylon is because America hasn't been touched on their own soil. All right, but that's getting ready to change. All right, at a big level. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. That's all I really wanted with that first point. Confusion, dust. Sit down in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. All right, because this is a very confusing place. Not only that you have women serving in the military, but you also got transformers that has rights in the military, and your good old tax-paying dollars is going into those operations to cut men's members off and turn them into women, or taking a male member and putting onto a woman, which is utter and complete confusion. Then you got homosexuals in the military, momos. It's all confusion. Women serving in infantry platoons, women commanders as infantry commanders. This is that's why America is going to be destroyed, man. Now let's get into the women that serves in different militaries. Women in the army, female fighters in the world's 7 biggest armies. All right, let's read. The role of a woman in countries' armies varies, with culture and wartime history having a strong influence. Historically, fighting roles for women were limited, but a full range of roles is opening up for female combatants. All right, here you go. This is all confusion. Come on, man. Spoils. China, they the biggest army so far. Just gonna get the numbers. 53,000 women serving in China's army, and more than likely they're Pencil pushers, India, another one, the second biggest. Um, make up 3% of the army, 36,000. Have only served in non-combat. They serve in non-combat support roles such as medical and logistical positions. Okay. North Korea, they make up 40%. All right. Pakistan. Let's keep going. 4,000 women in Pakistan armed forces. Okay, about 3,400. Small number, very small number. South Korea makes up 6,900. It's not bad either. Small. United States, now it's 476,000 serving active duty army. 16% of women. 74,000 women. Now let's read on a little bit of history. Women have served in the U.S. Army since the American Revolutionary War, 1775 to 1783, including serving as spies, task, and purpose. Also, well, the reason why they served as spies is because nobody expected a woman to, be combatant. So they use their flattery and all that stuff, which they make pretty good spies. I'll say that. If you've seen Inglourious Basterds, that's a pretty good movie. Anyways, 400,000 women served in non-combat roles during the Second World War, with hundreds serving as field intelligence agents. Of these, 88 were taken as prisoners. Of course, 16 were killed. Approximately 11,000 women deployed to Vietnam, 41,000 sent to Iraq. So it's a little bit of history on them, but prior to then, they were serving in non-combat roles until 2016, which they do now. And it's a big disaster. Now we're going to jump into what happens when one country or one group or one nation take over another. It's called booty. And women are nothing but spoils. Because what happens when you take over, let's go get an account if I can find one. There's all types of accounts. Anyways, I'm not going to find it right now. But anyways, there's multiple accounts of when nations took over nations. They took their cattle. They took their inheritance, so to speak, their cattle, their land. Well, not even their land. They took their cattle. They took their women and children, which is booty, which means spoils, which means valuable stolen goods, especially those seized in war. What do you think is about to happen in these formations when all shit hits the fan? When men knowing they're going to die. What you think they're going to take, man? They're going to take that female private that's sitting next to him. And a gun is hatched. In the tent. Because they know they're going to die. Especially when Yahweh Shema Shai come. So this is why it creates and causes confusion. All right? Just Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 30. And the land, let's start at 29. And Jeremiah 51, verse 29. And the land shall tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitant. Ooh, that's getting ready to happen, man. But via thermonuclear missiles. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might had failed. They became as women, literally. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. Look at this shit. This is the army. It doesn't make sense. These are, I'm just, some of these are retired, some of these old pictures, but this is just an example. These are who leading formations, leading troops. These are in your formations today. Spoils, not but spoils, man. This is an absolute confusion. And I tell you one thing, these women cannot perform, especially when it comes to that time of the month, which is the worst time. If you ever been into somewhere in a close confined space with a woman, look at this fine ass woman on the far right with her 82nd Airborne PFC. Like I said, if you ever been in a confined space with a woman that's been on a period in the field for a few days, it's madness. Let me just say that. Not to mention all the so-called policies and that's taking place due to field sanitation, because they need to take showers every so often because of the situation down there. It just brings nothing but confusion and more tax-paying dollars, you know, to upkeep this bullshit. Look at this, man. Spoils, spoils, spoils. Now I'm going to finish up with 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 32. And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel there through. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. And women, and it goes 2 and 2, because women gonna be mourning because their men gonna be dying in the battlefield. And a lot of these women are married to men in the military. So what happens if she finds out that her man got blown up? She's gonna be crying and shit. She's gonna be on the front lines crying. She can't do a job. She gotta put her rifle down. She gotta see the chaplain. It's confusion. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegroom be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. We know what's coming, man. But you women in the armed forces, you men in the armed forces are going to get utterly destroyed, man. Look at this, man. This is madness. Hey, I would like to see the Russian army and see what their women are doing. I can guarantee you they're sitting in a goddamn cubicle somewhere in air conditioning pushing paper. Look at this far left artillery. This female with a rifle in her hand. They don't know what's going on, man. Absolutely nothing. But anyways, that's all I want to get. Giving all praise, all honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Bashem Kakadash. Double honors be to the apostles, the elders, great millstone. Peace and salutations to the elders and Akim that is pushing his word with truth and sincerity. Shalom to the hope of the elect, Wa Baba Ball, death to Esau, death to the heathen, death to 2/3, death to you wicked ass women. Shalom to the hope of the elect.